Thank you all, members of the press, community leaders, elected officials, and community residents who are gathered here with us today. My name is Berto Aguayo. That's B-E-R-T-O, last name Aguayo, A-G-U-A-Y-O. And I am the policy co-chair of the Latino Leadership Council. We are holding this emergency press conference today because our community is under attack. Early this morning, the federal government announced Operation at Large, intensified immigration enforcement activity in our community. I want to remind folks that the people they are targeting are our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, and our neighbors. Everyday working class people whose only fault has been to believe in the American dream. In the next few days and weeks, we will continue to see this intensified immigration enforcement. And our message to our community is simple. We ask all undocumented residents or anyone that is vulnerable to stay home as much as you can and to know your rights. We also ask all U.S. citizens and allies, like myself, to use our privilege, exercise our rights, protest peacefully, record everything, and alert our neighbors of ICE presence on social media, on group chats, and through any other means. And lastly, we want to urge everyone, don't take the bait. We must remain calm, united, and informed. We are a resilient people. We will not give those folks targeting us the satisfaction of turning our anger or our fear against us. Instead, we're going to turn that anger into peaceful protest, and we're going to get through this by looking out for one another and making sure that everyone's rights are protected. Because at the end of the day, this country was built on a promise that we, the people, are guaranteed inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And today, we, the people here, stand together to make sure that those rights are not only protected, but that they are upheld for every member of our community. And now I will say a few words in Spanish. Hola, mi nombre es Berto Aguayo. Berto es B-E-R-T-O, Aguayo, A-G-U-A-Y-O. Soy el copresidente de política del Consejo de Líderes Latinos aquí en Illinois. Estamos llevando a cabo esta conferencia de prensa de emergencia hoy porque nuestra comunidad está siendo atacada. Esta mañana, el gobierno federal anunció la operación de gran escala, una actividad intensificada de aplicación de leyes de inmigración en nuestra comunidad. Y queremos recordarle a la gente que a los que están atacando son nuestras madres, nuestros padres, nuestros hermanos, nuestras hermanas, son nuestros vecinos. Son personas, gente trabajadora, aquí en Illinois, cuya única falta ha sido creer en el sueño americano. En las próximas semanas, continuaremos viendo esta intensidad con las leyes de inmigración. Y nuestro mensaje es muy simple. Le pedimos a todos los residentes indocumentados o que están vulnerables en este momento, que se queden en casa lo más posible y que conozcan sus derechos. Pedimos a todos los ciudadanos estadounidenses y aliados como yo, que usemos nuestro privilegio, que ejercemos nuestros derechos y protestar pacíficamente, grabar todo y alertar a nuestra comunidad de la presencia de ICE en nuestras comunidades en las redes sociales. No hay que caer en la trampa Debemos mantenernos calmados, unidos e informados. Somos un pueblo resiliente. No les vamos a dar la satisfacción de usar nuestro enojo o nuestro miedo en nuestra contra. En su lugar vamos a convertir ese enojo y ese miedo en protesta pacífica y vamos a superar este momento cuidándonos uno al otro y asegurándonos que los derechos de estos y de nuestras personas y de nuestra gente sean protegidos. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to introduce Cindy Medina Cervantes, the president of the Hispanic Lawyers Association of Illinois. Cindy?
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes a todos. My name is Cindy Medina Cervantes, and I have the privilege of serving as the president of HLAI, serving the Hispanic Lawyers of Illinois. We stand here today because our community is facing renewed threats of federal immigration enforcement and the possible deployment of the National Guard in the Chicagoland area. These measures are disproportionately targeted at our families, friends, neighbors, and clients, and have created fear and uncertainty for all of us. One of the most important tools we have right now is information. It is critical that we continue to educate and support one another about our rights and protections, including our right to remain silent and consult an attorney, and our obligations to the rule of law here in Illinois, which follow the Trust Act. Last week, we sent a letter to the Cook County Circuit Court Chief Judge requesting flexibility for litigants and attorneys to appear remotely. And today, we are preparing that same request for chief judges throughout the entire state of Illinois so that access to justice is not compromised by fear of physically attending a hearing where a federal enforcement officer can detain someone without a warrant. All of Illinois must ensure consistency and fairness in accessing our justice system. The Hispanic lawyers and my colleagues here have acted to protect the due process, access to justice, and dignity. And we need the engagement and support of everyone listening. Join our rapid response network to advocate for our immigrant community and the right to due process. If you are a lawyer, reach out to us so that we can connect you to the resources for attorneys and community leaders. If you are at risk and need legal assistance, but don't know where to turn to for legal guidance, contact us so that we can share our referral list with you. Please take a look at our resources on our website at www.hlai.org. Y por favor, si necesitan ayuda o necesitan más información, no duden en contactarnos en nuestro sitio electrónico a www.hlai.org. This is just the beginning, but you are not alone. We stand together in solidarity to protect our community and defend our profession, our laws, and our dignity. Advocate, educate, litigate. This is our country. These are our institutions, and we will always defend them to ensure fairness and justice for everyone. Juntos seguimos adelante y fortaleciendo nuestra comunidad. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Cindy. And now we're going to hear from Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank all of you for being here and for showing your support. Thanks especially to the Latino Leadership Council for organizing this event. Cook County is home to more than 5 million people, many of whom came here to build a better life for themselves and their families. As a welcoming county, we remain committed to ensuring that every resident feels safe, respected, and valued. The families that work and live here contribute mightily to our economy, our culture, and our communities. Right now, they're under attack. The deceptive and aggressive tactics used by federal immigration agents undermine our commitment to being a welcoming county. Residents following legal processes have been detained. Even U.S. citizens have been subjected to arrest, harassment, and unfair treatment. These practices are dangerous. They create fear in our neighborhoods and erode trust in law enforcement. Plainclothes agents, unmarked cars, and the refusal to provide identification are not hallmarks of transparency or accountability. Instead, they raise the risk of abuse, intimidation, and impersonation. This is unacceptable. I want to take a moment to acknowledge a recent tragedy in which ICE agents targeted a man named Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. Silverio was fatally shot by ICE agents in Franklin Park in Cook County. According to news reports, he had no criminal record. His death was both senseless and unjust. I ask that we remember Silverio and stand in solidarity with all of our immigrant neighbors. We will not tolerate injustice or humane treatment of people who come to our communities seeking safety and the chance to build a better life for their families. We call for congressional oversight and accountability to ensure that federal agencies act within the bounds of the law and respect the rights of all people. I want to acknowledge all the immigrant support organizations, especially the Illinois Council for Immigrant and Refugee Rights, ICER, that have done the good work of trying to keep our residents informed and safe. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And now we will hear from Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton.
Good evening. I'm Juliana Stratton, and it's my honor to serve as Lieutenant Governor of the state of Illinois. I wanted to speak directly to Illinoisans at a moment many of you are rightly finding frightening. Over the last days and weeks, we've watched a federal operation unfold in our communities, an operation that has been framed as necessary for public safety. Let me be clear. This is not about safety. This is an engineered crisis, a spectacle designed for headlines, not for the safety of our neighborhoods. This administration is not going after the quote-unquote worst of the worst. What we are seeing is very different. They are targeting hard-working people who have been our neighbors for decades, people who run local businesses, sell flowers at the corner, and have shown up every day to build a life here. Today there are reports, and I want everyone to hear this, that ICE handcuffed a United States citizen and then bragged about it on social media. Think about that. A U.S. citizen handcuffed in front of their home while Kristi Noem posts about it for clicks. They can call it Operation Midway Blitz, Operation At Large, whatever name they attach. We know the truth. It's a sick reality TV show to them. This is not about making us safer. When federal agents operate without transparency, wearing masks, using unmarked cars, not showing clear identification, that creates confusion and fear that puts everyone at risk. Local law enforcement, families, and businesses. We need accountability, which so far ICE has refused to provide. We need a full investigation into the death of Silverio Villegas Gonzalez in Franklin Park. This operation is already causing real harm. Families are skipping celebrations. Parents are afraid to send their children to school. Small businesses are losing customers because people are afraid to leave home. That is the point of this stunt. Intimidate, distract, and tear communities apart. Illinois will not be bullied. We follow the law. We respect the Constitution. We will not join this administration in violating it. I want to remind everyone to know your rights and to stay safe. To those who are able, Protest peacefully. Raise your voices. Record what you see. I know that many of you are angry. I am too. Channel that energy into peaceful and urgent action. Together, we will meet intimidation with unity, threats with courage, and lies with the truth. We will protect the families of Illinois. We will defend the Constitution, and we will not normalize military-style tactics on our streets. Our only way forward is together, and together we will march forward with dignity, resolve, and yes, love for one another. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. I know there's probably some questions. Yes. Yeah, so one thing that we do know is when we talk about asking U.S. citizens and allies to use our privilege, we also mean supporting our businesses. And we also mean going to our local neighborhood restaurants and our local shops to patronize those businesses, because we know that 26th Street is one of the biggest tax generators of the city. And when our communities suffer, when our businesses suffer, our whole city suffers, because that means less revenue for the city. That means less revenue for all of us. And so, as Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton said, we're going to get through this together, because the economic impact of these ICE raids will be felt by everyone alike, not just people in our communities. And so we want to call on our neighbors, call on U.S. citizens to go to your local businesses, patronize street vendors, give them your business, and to encourage other people to do the same. Go to Little Village, go to Back of the Yards, go to Belmont Cragen. Help those businesses as they try to withstand the fear and the economic impact that ICE is having in our communities. Any business owners here? No? So, but that's one of the business, that's one of the messages that business leaders also want to share. Sí. La pregunta fue, ¿qué le decimos a la gente en términos del impacto económico? Y lo que le quiero decir a la gente es que si eres un ciudadano, si eres un aliado de nuestra comunidad, usa tu privilegio para ayudar a nuestra comunidad, ayudar a nuestros negocios. Ve a nuestras taquerías, ve a nuestras tienditas, ve a agarrar tus elotes, tus churros, tus tamales en nuestras comunidades de La Villita, del barrio de las Empacadoras, de Humboldt Park, de Belmont Cragen, de Elgin, de West Chicago. Todos tenemos poder económico, tenemos poder de gente y tenemos poder de un mensaje colectivo como el que estamos teniendo ahorita. Entonces, si puedes y tienes la capacidad, ve a ayudar a nuestros negocios porque lo necesitan. Anybody want to respond to that? So,
I believe it was posted today, but what I will say is that this is another example of why I say it's a spectacle. I mean, we are talking about an administration that says that they are focused on safety, and I don't know if anybody else has examples of where an administration is saying public safety is about taking a video and putting it on so that people can like that video and get clicks. This is not a game, it is dangerous, and real people are being impacted. So I'm appalled that there would be any attempt to use social media to show, look at the damage that we are doing to our communities, and we won't stand for it.
So a situation like this has already happened in other places, and Chicago Public Schools has a protocol in place that works to protect children in our schools, and they're working with local community organizations to make sure that if you don't have a warrant signed by a judge, you cannot enter a school. If you don't have a warrant signed by a judge, you cannot enter a home. And so I'm grateful for Chicago Public Schools and the response. And those are all the questions that we're going to take for today. Thank you so much. Have a good one.